definition was given to the whole culture of mass incarceration. It was given by Marion Wright Edelman, who's the head of Children's Defense League. And she said that the prison systems of today, here in America in particular, is the new slavery. And that system has an unbridled relationship to our society. We build more prisons in America than we build classrooms. The largest prison population in the world, as we all know, is the United States of America. As the beginning of this performance, the statistics that close to 8 billion people are directly related to the insensitivities and to the will of what the criminal justice system in America is doing in the way it has used its power to demonize the black community and the community of the minorities. The largest population in our prison system is black. The second force behind that is the Latino community. Combined with Asians and Native Americans, the vast majority of the prison systems in America are made up of people of color. And I think that as this system continues to escalate, we find that even in our greatest moments of hope, sometimes our best advocates and the ones who are most powerful and can make the biggest difference fail to live up to that expectation. When Barack Obama was elected as President of the United States of America, a great deal of pride and a great deal of joy struck the hearts, the minds, and the bosoms of African Americans, not just here, but all over the diaspora and so the continent of Africa. And it was expected. Nothing that he said directly indicated that he would, but it was expected by all of us that his presence, his history, his identity would not hesitate to put itself in the service of the needs of the people of color in America. That has not fully evidenced itself. That has not been our experience. In many ways that we had hoped we would see his power and his presence revealed. During his watch, the laws of America have become not only more severe, but have become relentless in its application to the suffocation of people who are poor, and most of them people of color. I believe that it is up to the community, the citizens of this country, to recognize that fact and let us become the force that forces the President of the United States of America, as we've had to force previous presidents in this country, to pay attention to the plight of the poor, to the plight of black people, to the plight of our suffocation, and step to the plate and just simply do what's right, do what's moral. We have spent too much time servicing the gods of politics, and in that context we have diminished our humanity. We expect before he leaves office, Barack Obama will somewhere reach into that reservoir of human possibility and live up to the cause of justice. The prison industrial complex and the laws that have been passed are more draconian than any laws we've ever had since the days of slavery. any one of us in this room at this very moment. Strangers could walk in, muscle you, take you outside. And those of us in this room would never ever necessarily see you again. None of us would ever be told what happened to you under the draconian laws that exist in this country. You can be abducted, contained, whisked off quietly and secretly into prisons located in any number of places around the world and never be heard from again. You have no right to plead. You have no right to a lawyer. You have no right to due process because the law says so. It is the law that Barack Obama inherited. It was one of the laws we were almost positive would be the first for him to step to the plate and to rescind. That, however, has not happened. He's become one of the great practitioners in the use of that law. Much of it quiet, much of it not spoken about in popular cultural dialogue, but it happens. The children as young as 5 years old are being arrested, are being fingerprinted, and are being given a prison record. It is that fact that has compelled many of us to say, somewhere along the line has to be drawn for each of us, has to be drawn for those who invade our communities, those who choose to guide us to the ends that are not to our interest. And certainly, it is up to us to make our president do what he needs to do. And that translates itself, and I'll wrap this up, into its simplest terms. You can only speak with any great clarity, with any great sense of assuredness that our mission for freedom will be achieved if the community commits itself to that mission. It starts with each and every one of us. It starts in the simplest of places. It starts with Rosa Parks sitting on a bus. It starts with Fannie Lou Hamer down there in Mississippi taking care of hogs. It starts with Ella Baker using her academic genius to move among the young and help create SNP. It moves everywhere. And I think that in theater, where I happen to have my own residence, emotional and intellectual, is a place where I find we had great opportunity. My mentor was a man by the name of Paul Robeson. Not too far from this location, the place where I grew up at first and came to know theater. It was on the Elks Hall on 120th Street in Fifth Avenue, just a half a block away from me. Ossie Davis, Ruby Lee, Sidney Poitier, all of us grew up in that place, in the basement of the Schomburg Library. It is in that humble environment, not too unlike this, as a matter of fact, very much like this, that we were inspired, given the opportunity to find out that theater was where we belonged, and theater was our greatest tool to express ourselves in the way we have done. Paul Robeson once said that artists are the gatekeepers of truth. And art is the radical voice of civilization. That very fact which inspired us to get on with what we wanted to do as artists has now yielded its space, not without love, not without care, not without attention. We yield that space not only to Breon, Babe, the plays that are being done here, through Barbara Ann Teer, now through her daughter, and through all the people you've met, we are here. Those who question, where is America? Where is our youth? Where is our voice? It is here. It is raised. It is speaking loudly. It is speaking with great clarity. The only thing that impedes the world hearing it as it should be heard is by those who have commanded the space of communication. NBC, CBS, Sony, all the great cultural forces that have directed where culture goes have been the ones who have determined the agenda. That agenda has made dedicated space, what you saw here today, to be heard. In that fact, it doesn't mean that we cannot be heard. We just need to find our own space and our own way. And what Jan is doing and what all of the young people we saw here do is very, very much a part of what we need to do more of. What's interesting about this is the fact that this was brought to my attention not by Jan and not by the theater, brought to me by a community organization. That community organization said, there's a young man in our midst who does this poetry, who does this rap, who does this piece of theater that we believe we should get behind. And when they brought that to my attention and I listened and I saw what it was, I was unequivocally committed to where this has to go. My task is just to say that from this moment on, we have to bring the resources, we have to bring other thoughts to the table to make Brianna is doing and artists like it, that they be heard. All the communities around America open up its space and its heart to have this heard. I'm honored and pleased and rewarded for the opportunity to be in this service.
So Brian, being that gatekeeper of truth, or one of the gatekeepers of truth, and of course on the final night of a brilliant